Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for hanging in there, as we say. This is a hard time. But I love the fact that there's 2 women after 4 men. So, right? Only just.
That's
And also note Vanda's pants that are on brand to the colors of NEM.
completely both name and Viaplay, actually.
Great. So thank you guys really for showing up, and thank you for agreeing to do this. This is, a dramatic 24 hours, but we will get right to it. I'm not going to repeat your very lengthy title, but we've known each other, I want to say 15 years at least.
I'm not sure. I'm sure we met in LA, though.
One of the LAs, where I used to be a buyer and you used to be a buyer, and now you're leading up Viaplay Select as far as, part of the Viaplay group. So, just started us off. What is Viaplay in case there's...
So, Viaplay is a leading streamer in the Nordics as well as many other markets. And in the Nordics, we're also a 360 media group. So we are in 13 markets as a direct-to-consumer product. In most of those markets, we have an approach of a broad product. So we are super strong in sports as well as all a broad TV and film and documentary and kids and a broad proposition, basically a service for everyone in the family. And we are on the top streamers in the Nordics, Netherlands, Poland, and the Baltics. And then in markets like the US and Canada and the UK, our offering is more niche focused on our Nordic storytelling.
Right. So you're one of the more successful stories of a regional streamer and a regional service provider that has come out of kind of the streaming frenzy that we've seen over the last few years. And speaking of frenzy, I mean, it's been, I'm sure, a hard...
So we are
24 hours.
Yes, so yes, and it is a shame if the massive success and growth that we have created on Viaplay.
And for people who don't know or want to Google or whatever, we'll just say, last 24 hours, the CEO has stepped down. There's a new change in leadership.
Absolutely.
And a revision of the long-term kind of governance and strategy towards not the strategy, but more so of the numbers and the I'd say revenues projected. So
indeed, very good point. So of course we should address that. It's important to say that our strategy remains the same, and the new CEO, which is actually our old CEO, and I know Jürgen for 20 years.
It's like in Disney, like Bob Iger's back, so it's the same.
Yes, so we are committed to the strategy, and we will be working with the new CEO to see how best to deliver that. We have grown Viaplay, both the product as well as a company in terms of revenue and profits, exceptionally well, objectively. So there are not two sides of the story, but there are two sides of the story, let's say. One is the objective growth that we have had, what we have created, and that is there, and it continues. And it continues to go up in these market conditions, I believe objectively very successfully. What we are doing now is there has been some adjustment in the future projections as our ex-CEO, as well as the new, has been extremely ambitious, but we have not previously adjusted to the market conditions like everyone else has done.
Right, and we've certainly seen a very dramatic year as far as all the streaming companies. Everybody's been affected. If we were sitting here last year talking about Netflix,
yes, and
they, at the time,
their share collapsed. Now
their share collapsed, and if we kind of look a year on and check, we were just checking the numbers backstage. I mean, their value has gone up, I think, 3 times of what it was this time last year. So certainly streaming is not it's a new business. Everybody's figuring it out, and I'm sure that's kind of.
And we are continuing our growth path in our existing markets. Previously, possibly there was an expectation that we launch direct-to-consumer products around the world. This is being adjusted where we are working more with partners around the world, which...
Right. So you're working with partners under the brand of Viaplay Select. So
Yeah.
what is that service?
So I'm maybe I should say that my responsibility in the business, I'm responsible for two business units. One is the Viaplay Select and our global content sales, and Viaplay Select is a product that we are working with partners around the world based on our strengths, and then North America, where we have a streaming service where the content and the offering is very similar to Viaplay Select. The only difference is in the US, due to the size of the market, we are also going direct to consumer.
And I believe we have a little clip to kind of...
Yes, let's...
We are Viaplay Group, the international entertainment provider. Every day, we bring the best streaming offering in the business to millions of subscribers across many of the world's most dynamic markets. Over the past 15 years, our viewers have scored the best moments in live sports, enjoyed original storytelling that's one of a kind, and much more. We're a market leader. In fact, with over 130 premieres set for 2023, we're one of Europe's leading content producers. Now our stories are reaching further than ever. Viaplay Select is our branded content concept for partner platforms around the world. Wherever you are, you can now offer your viewers hundreds of hours of high-quality first-run series, films, and documentaries from Viaplay, and more. And as we often say, Nordic Noir is just the beginning. We have everything from epic action, chilling crime, and heartwarming drama, to highly rated young adult shows, and social, lifestyle, and sports documentaries in a league of their own.
I would like to show you my work.
This storytelling has taken Viaplay to the top in our own markets, and it can help you do the same in yours. Through Viaplay Select, you get direct, guaranteed access to Viaplay's unique slate. Our award-winning stories can become your stories. And for viewers, that means even more variety and value. Viaplay Select has already launched in over 20 markets across 5 continents, with many more planned for 2023 and beyond. So for a premium pipeline of international content that sets your service apart, it's an easy choice. Viaplay Select.
So what would you say is the kind of unique service offering that Viaplay Select offers the market? Because, you and I, we talked about this. I remember calling you up one Friday afternoon after, I believe it was Fox that was trying to make us take some kind of SVOD service, which they would program and tell us what to put on there and when to take it off, and right? And I was like, "Are you accepting these terms?" And you said, "Hell no." Sorry. Is that like, so what's the difference between those days when we had content?
Yes, very good point, actually, because yes, I was trying to persuade you for the merits of this, and that actually the whole concept has come about possibly because of my hat as a buyer in the past 10 years, and knowing and feeling very connected with the needs of the buyers around the world. Viaplay Select, firstly, we are using our strengths for the benefit of the customers around the world and adjusting our product to their needs. Our strength is, of course, the prolific content creation that we have as Viaplay for being in these markets. A really strong content that works, or we always try for it to work across many markets. Our acquisitions kind of leverage curation and expertise that we have in putting a product together. We're also a broadcaster, a linear broadcaster. So we have all this that we have the strength that we want to give, let partners around the world piggyback on that.
So
we're using
I would say you're just like us, right? And you're in the trenches, you're a broadcaster too, you're a licensee, you're a producer, you're a service provider. So having the opportunity to see the market from all angles.
Yeah. And also to be flexible for partners around the world on the points that you mentioned. Firstly, we're going with a first run series, and we use our product, as a first run.
Well, you're producers. You're very big. You're very big.
Guaranteed
prolific
pipeline
producers
for
in
the
the
partners around the world, and we also adjust to their needs. So dare I say, almost every one of the partnership we have has a lot of unique points. It's not, okay, here is 500 hours, you take it as it is. We really discuss a lot what the partner needs and what is their position in the market, and adjust the offering for that.
And let's talk a little bit about the actual content. You said guaranteed pipeline because you're continuously commissioning and producing in numerous territories across a variety of genres.
Of course, and we do have a variety of genres, from, of course, crime and Nordic noir that we're known for, but even also the other real life stories, as well as documentaries and movies, where we are creating increasingly more, having in mind the international market. The markets we are in are small markets in terms of volume of customers. We're big in small markets. That still means that one cannot afford to only have one series that is successful in one small market. You always need to have in mind, especially in the size of projects that we are doing, that there needs to be appetite and interest.
And you also have a distribution arm, so you have to think, what are the possibilities of...
Of course, that is the Viaplay Select, is the product that is a branded content offering, but we are also selling the same team. We are working on selling the normal package. It's simply that the Viaplay Select is another way that we can benefit partners more. And it's worth noting that with those partners, we expand on alternative collaborations, be it for their free TV channels, be it for pre-buys, co-productions, on the big international projects that we have. Many of them are bringing us projects where we can kind of bring what we can from other markets in the world. So it is a very good partnership model.
A collaboration. And, drilling down to some of the content, I've seen some of your shows, and some are. Do you want to give some example? I can give an example of a show this year that
from Berlinale.
Berlinale, that actually won the jury's special mention. Should I say I was on the jury?
Oh, yes, you should. Okay. That gives you credit.
But I did, and it was in the little clip that we just saw. And for you people, everybody watched Succession this season? Did you recognize Ebba in the clip? Yes. So
it is very good example of a show, The Architect.
So she is a Norwegian actress.
Yeah.
And in one of your shows, Architection.
Yes, The Architect, who actually came to be created as part of our Talent Award. So we have Viaplay Talent Awards, which gives chance to young talent in the market. And it is impressive that one show that came out of the Talent Awards, admittedly, we didn't expect it ourselves to be the second ever Norwegian show that got an award in Berlinale.
You're welcome. It wasn't just me on the jury. I promise you, it wasn't anything else. But to your point, it's a very, very cute 4-episode series done. Can we talk about the budget on it? It's wonderful what you managed to do with such a small budget.
It was a low budget for the market of about 100,000 per episode.
About 100,000 euros an episode. Very innovative out there, and I would even say, very relevant to a younger audience, which is something we keep talking about and keeps popping up, I think, in every panel and keynote that we've heard. Yeah. How do we keep ourselves relevant? And I think...
that is... that story is quite unique because it talks about a world that doesn't quite exist but could have been existed. And we have a lot of stories that are quite unique there, in addition to, of course, the recipes of crime drama that everyone knows us for. Architect is indeed.
I could just give a little context. It's basically about the near future where the rent is so high that nobody can afford to live in the center of Oslo in this case, and people start living in parking spaces. So cars are too expensive, so you don't need a car, but you can live in a little parking space, which doesn't seem that science fictional if you're looking at some of the
No, I
property
mean,
prices,
you
but
see the main lead sitting somewhere in the middle of Oslo and some present being delivered to her through the air. I mean, it is the near future,
It is the near-
possibly.
But anyway, it's a very
With a
creative
twist
show.
on what
And one of
can
those,
happen.
I would say, that kind of goes into the DNA of what a Viaplay original.
absolutely, to the style of storytelling that
And going
We
back
have-
to Viaplay Select, so you were talking about, taking and helping partners with curation, scheduling, marketing. Is that a big priority? Obviously, that's been coming up as the number one challenge is really content discovery these days.
For sure. With regards to marketing, we are not in these collaborations. We are not forcing, and I was very clear to that also internally, any sort of marketing. Why? Because I believe, and I know it's as a buyer myself, that the platform, the service will market as it's best for them. To my surprise, I was truly surprised by how all partners found a way to do marketing that would have been 10 times more than I would have expected them to do, even if I had put it in the contract. So that's good to see that they are using the upside of bringing another product in the market and to their customers, creating also or riding on the perception or the fact that it is an additional service, an additional content pipeline guarantee for their viewers, and they're making the most of that. So I'm glad they do, actually, and I'm looking forward for more of them going.
So let's talk a little bit. We've got a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about the future. What are you excited about and looking forward to?
Yes, I am truly excited about helping partners around the world grow their own service. And I'm truly excited by seeing the success or the increase in success that they can have with us in. Looking forward to some new markets that we will launch and new partners we're launching the service with, and as well as some super exciting content pipeline that is coming for us as a service,
And hopefully
like
for
Romania.
and hopefully for partners
And of
that
course,
they come on
for
board.
partners around the
And
world.
I think I kind of come from the same world, and I know how difficult it is to get access to great content when you want it, and having almost a group, a team, an international team of allies could be beneficial in other ways, hopefully, for you guys in the future. Whether it's putting your thinking caps on production or
Yes, of course, the 360 partnerships and collaborations that could help everyone piggyback on our strengths, and us as well have the pleasure of seeing our content and our efforts going to viewers and services around the world.
okay, ending on a high note, and of course a new boss. So.
Yes. No, indeed. But it's actually, it's worth noting that it is a new boss, but it's also our old MTG Viaplay boss. So it is under the circumstances a person that we know what we are getting, and we know we have a new CEO with ambition and that shares the drive and the strategy going
And knows the
forward.
business.
Yes, knows the business, of course. Imagine if we were to start from scratch. No, we're not. So it is...
It is something to look forward to.
Looking forward to that, too.
Thank you, and thank you
you so
everybody
much.
for the
Thank you, everyone.